All right, let's get started. Do a third person character. Just call this like puzzle dungeon or something. And see where we go from there. Might want to make sure my mic is working. Looks like it is. Cool, 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 cool. I wish I had like a billion viewers or something like that. It's like, but yeah, how's everybody doing? I actually feel like I'm talking to somebody. But I'm not quite there yet. Someday. All right, so I think first thing I want to do is kind of, we'll just use what we have here as kind of like the basis of our first like little puzzle. And what I was thinking for like a nice little puzzle is maybe, well, we need to worry about like traps and we need to worry about completing the puzzles, right? And I would say let's just take this guy, rotate it 90. Line it up with this. And delete this. Maybe we got to get over here somehow. And we'll just, right now we'll say the shape here, this is lava. Can't step on this, right? We'll actually make some sort of damaging volume for lava if we want to make it towards instant kill, or if we want to make it towards damage over time. Either way we can go with that. So not hard. Trying to think. So we could do, let me see this shape really quick. I'm curious, can we use this to kind of narrow the player in a little bit? So I'm thinking like coming up with just different ways of how do you traverse this, right? And maybe we extend this slightly. Try to rotate this around. So when we extend it, it comes towards this way. Yeah, how do we traverse this? First of all, let's make sure that we can't just jump it. So take our player, run over here. Almost. We might want to either A, change the jump Z velocity in the player movement component, or B, just move the whole thing back, right? We want it to be a daunting task. Oops. They've got to overcome. Now they definitely can't make that jump in just one thing. Now we got to think like, what is the surrounding area? Is it all just lava? Is it like this huge area, or do we have like some walls? And if there's walls, we got to make sure those walls can't be traversed by the player. So maybe we do the same thing on this side that we did on the other side, where, how tall is this? Scale 9.75. Do the same here, 9.75. Actually, let's go just 10 on both of these. Nice round number. You guys know me. If I can help it, use round numbers. All right. And maybe we extend this slightly out, just like we did on the other side. So it's kind of matching a little bit. Like this is a little bit more of a double platform and this is a single, but I think it kind of adds to it to make it where it's not too symmetrical. If we had walls here, we could stretch this right? I don't know. I kind of like just having that like that way that it is. Let's delete this. I'm gonna keep this other wall here, and I'm just going to put it all the way back down to its normal size, just so I can keep a reference or a nice piece like that. All right, so how do we traverse this? Like, aesthetics, you know, be damned. I don't care about the aesthetics right now. Because I mean, honestly, this whole thing isn't even about aesthetics. It would be about the platform or the dungeon itself, or how do we traverse this? And there's a couple different ways. If it was a magic type situation, maybe you can throw a teleporter thing all the way across, and that could be interesting because then you could have it to where, you know, this is raised up a little bit and then there's another one and you've got like this slight gap that you got to throw it through. But then how does the player know to throw to it? And this kind of gives me other ideas even further than that, where if this whole platform is raised up and maybe this is extended slightly, it would be a kind of a nice thing where you got to do different platforms to get up here, that maybe they're moving up and down, and they maybe move in and out of the lava, or we could do like disappearing platforms, whatever. Let's just do a simple moving platform for right now. And I think we'll do it with an interp, the very first one, because it's the most simple way of doing a platform. So I'm going to make a new folder in our content thing. Just call it _main, as we do. Another new folder, blueprints. And we'll just open this up, blueprint. And I'm going to make a new one called BP_moving platform. And I'm going to put _interp, because an interp platform, where they use an interp component, is very different than a platform that we just hard code. Well, not really hard code, but that we code ourselves to interpolate across. Because with this, and if somebody out there knows better than me on this, as far as I know, and I did a little bit of research into this recently, but not a lot. You know, let's make a real quick. You guys know me, I can't do everything all in one go. I gotta stop and go back. I'm gonna make a new box, and we're gonna just make our general platform size, which I think maybe 200, 210 might be kind of nice for our platform size. I don't want, let's go 150 on both of these. I don't want it to be the same size as this piece here. And the only reason for that is just so it adds that slight bit of extra difficulty. And they don't look like they're really 100% part of it. Yeah, I think this will be fine. And I'm just gonna hit accept on that. I'm gonna browse to it. We're gonna set up its name, so SM_. We'll call this like small platform, because I don't really see myself going any smaller than this, maybe. And if we do, we just call it extra small. I don't know. We're gonna open this up really quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch it from using complex collision to project default, and then we're going to give it some collision, because as you can see, once I show simple collision, there is nothing there. So we're gonna go collision and add box simplified collision. Okay, and then we're just gonna add that to our mesh here. Let's go ahead and make a material for it. So back in my main folder here, I'm gonna right click, new folder, materials. And let's just make my handy dandy main material. So M_main. And so to do that, we're just gonna start promoting. I do like to just call this tent now. I don't know, I haven't made a tutorial since I've kind of switched up how I do this. I'm gonna set the default to white. Actually, probably gray, but we'll do that in a second. But yeah, I've kind of started doing this in a different way. I really started thinking about it. Like if I want to have a modular material that I can kind of use for a lot of prototyping stuff, then why not go ahead and make everything ish exposed. We don't really need emissive. We can always just duplicate this and make a new emissive. One thing I like to do now though is go ahead and get a texture sample by holding T and left clicking, converting it to a parameter, and we'll just call this texture. And then we can multiply these two and put them into the base color. And we're getting a issue here because we don't have a texture selected. One of the easiest things is just make it gray, right? Because then if it's going to kind of mute the color slightly, but not much. So it's not something we 100% gotta worry about. So if we're not wanting to use a texture, then we don't have to. But it's already there, it's ready to go. We can change it if we want to. And then same thing with the normal. We can promote this. And we can come over here. I did not want that to be like that. Let's just grab a texture sample, copy paste, rename it to normal or normals. Put that into our normal thing here. There it is, gray, and then search for normal, and there should be, is this it? Yeah, the base flat normal just has nothing on it. It might have a little bit of something on there, but if it does, I can't see it. I'm not terribly worried about it. Might be easier if we look at it from a plane. Yeah. And then you can just kind of go through and say, okay, well, metallic, I like it to be 0.2, and then I like my roughness to be 0.25, and then nothing in the specular. And for those of you that don't know this, if you don't set an amount here in the specular, you might be thinking like, well, why even set it as a thing if you're just going to keep it 0? Well, with specular, if you hover over here, you'll notice it actually defaults at 0.5. I don't think anything else does that, so I don't know why they do that with specular. But just if you keep getting a shininess to your stuff, and you're like, oh, I don't have anything in specular, what's going on? Set it to 0, as they defaulted to 0.5. All right, and I'm going to use that material. We can actually right click, create material instance, and we can just call it mi_platform. And then we can just play around with it. We can say, okay, you know what? I want some normals or something. I don't know if there's anything that comes with Unreal right off the bat that would be kind of cool. Maybe the mannequin normals. Maybe that looks really cool on our thing. I don't think so, to be honest. But that's kind of cool. And then you can add. If you wanted to add texture, you could, but I'm not going to. Go tint, and maybe we go like this a little bit, and actually reduce the metallic to 0.05, just so there's a slight shine to it, and maybe 0.3 on the roughness, maybe 0.35. Yeah, there we go. And we got ourselves a cool little platform material that we can then go back to our box here, and we can apply that so that it's applied to any instance of this platform. There we go. Yay. All right, close all that. You know what? The more I'm looking at this, I don't really like it. I haven't tried this before, so I'm gonna try it now live. With our static mesh here in the world, we can go to modeling, and I wonder if we can just project and do